the candidates out?
Yeah, Dean's not here. Okay, go.
Good afternoon, Troy Philippines, general members, and other attendees. My name is Bote, and I want to begin by thanking you all for considering me as your treasurer for the 2016-2017 school year. Before I begin, I'd like for you to keep one word in mind throughout my speech, and that word is improvement. Ever since I've joined Troy Philippines, the executive board has done everything in their power to make sure that this club is the best club possible. And for the past 2 years, I'm proud to say that this club has significantly improved within all aspects. I seek nothing more but for this club to continue its development, and I plan to make this happen by directly being a part of this growth by serving as your treasurer. To demonstrate why I qualify for this position, I will brief you all on my professional background and academic qualifications. Currently, I am a sophomore studying accounting at the 11th School of Accounting, where more than 75% of my classes require me to use, work, and analyze numbers daily. This becomes very applicable when translating to the position of treasurer, where I'm given responsibility of all financial transactions and budgets for the semester. In regards to my professional background, for this coming summer, I've also been accepted to Discover KPMG, a program where participants will be taught more on the audit and tax practices, while also developing leadership and teamwork skills, which I plan on applying to all at my potential position so that Troy Philippines will always be in a financially stable state. Additionally, something I think is important that isn't necessarily written out within the position description is the ability of the elected official to communicate effectively with the executive board. It is especially pivotal within the treasurer position, because it is absolutely necessary to communicate with your board in regards to funds for events that they are running. Working at the Enderman Student Health Center as a lead concierge associate for a year and a half has allowed me to develop extensive interpersonal skills through constant patient interaction, which I plan on translating when working with the future board. With careful planning and analysis of the budget, along with efficient communication to the board, I am certain that Troy Philippines will be able to provide its members with a very memorable year. On a more personal level, I am a very organized and task-oriented individual. Growing up, I've never had the liberty to spend money without consequence, so that's required me to budget my allowance, earnings, and loans towards the necessities of every college student, which include tuition, rent, food, and other miscellaneous expenses. I've been able to accomplish this through programs like Excel, where I set up simple worksheets and formulas to calculate monthly budgets and determine the allocation of my income. Budgeting is something I'm very acquainted with, and I plan on applying all these skills that I've developed when formulating budgets for Troy Phi. During my time at USC, I can honestly say that I've grown and matured by a tremendous amount. A support network that's always been around for me since my first week of school was Troy Phi. I joined Troy Phi 3 semesters ago in the fall of 2014, and I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I knew I wanted to find other people and friends who shared my cultural background, and what I ended up getting out of it was a second family. Progressing to the next semester, I wanted to get myself involved as much as possible, which I accomplished through the intern program, where I was given a glimpse of what it was like to lead and run the club through the executive board for that year. Now coming into this year, I joined Troy Phi's executive board as the first director of professional development. Through this experience, I've had to develop and establish framework for a new e-board position, while also learning what Troy Phi needs in order to be run effectively. Now that I'm approaching my junior year, I believe that I am properly matured within the club and want to provide new members with the same experience that I've been given when I first joined Troy Phi as a freshman. I hope to accomplish this through implementing a set of internal controls and a semi-annual budget, or a semesterly budget. With internal controls, our main goal is to make sure that our members have confidence that their dues in Troy Phi's funds are secure and are always in good hands. I'm looking to establish more preventative measures to help avoid any discrepancies within our funds. Some new controls would include a new cash box protocol, a monthly audit or a bank reconciliation, and an updated online reimbursement process. A semi-annual budget will help alleviate any stress about funding potential events for the semester, as we revolve our fundraisers around those events and divide up our current funds ahead of time. With my experience on the executive board and as an intern, I've seen how a lack of funds can affect the quality of an event. With a semi-annual budget, I hope to provide my board with all the necessary funds to run the best events possible for our general members. That being said, I hope that you find my goals and vision embody the continuous improvement of Troy Philippines. With my academic background, work experience, and involvement with this club, I'm assured that I can be an asset that will not only benefit you, but will also help all future members find their place within my second family, Troy Phi. Thank you.
So we are going to move to the 3-minute Q&A session. Tori will.
Does anyone have a question? Go ahead.
What do you think the treasurers of this year could have improved upon?
So, like I said in the hero speech, this club has done nothing better, but just continuous improvement. The things that I'm looking to implement are things that I thought we could improve on, which are very minimal, but I think pivotal. And I touched on that when I said internal controls. So if you guys don't know what internal controls are, they're just pretty much a system or actions that companies take to make sure that the organization is run smoothly and to prevent any potential discrepancies with funds. This will allow for a lot more confidence for our general members, and little things like I said, which are the cash box protocol, a monthly audit, which is like a bank rec, and also a more updated online reimbursement process, which I can talk about more. So with our online reimbursement process, I know we have a set reimbursement process within the Constitution, but I'm looking to compact that into one Excel spreadsheet that everybody has access to. So instead of having to personally message me, I'm gonna have everything set up online. So you just submit in a form ahead of time with a receipt, invoice, and then we'll go about the process that way so we can keep track of everything online. And everybody will have access to that because of the transparency with our Google Drive. With the cash box policy, I'm looking to limit the amount of people who currently hold the cash box to probably just the president and the treasurer, and to the people that are running the events. After every event, I'm also trying to get tallies of what goes inside and outside the cash box, which will all be comprised in a Google Sheet. And also, every time someone else that isn't the treasurer or the president, make sure that they check it out properly. And finally, with the bank rec, which is just a monthly audit, just making sure that all of the charges going out of our bank account or Venmo are passing with the correct invoices of Troy Fives, just to make sure everything's in line. And those would be the couple things I've implemented that wasn't done this year.
Any more questions? Rachel?
You've been on executive board this year. How do you feel like you've grown as a leader, and how do you feel like you've contributed to the success of the T-Board?
Yeah, so going on my development, I've definitely taken, through the years, I've definitely tried to progress my involvement within the club. And I did that freshman year during the intern program, and I did that this year by joining the board. When you're part of the board, it allows for a different perspective on the club because you know that you directly impact that. And before, when I was an intern, I could definitely say that I was definitely less hesitant to speak about anything if there was an issue.
Sorry. That's it. Okay.